Rohan is one of the sweetest, most humble, kind-hearted person I know. This is why we are so close. He is an absolute inspiration and blessing to have in my life.
I'm Rohan Spencer and I suffer a stroke.
My cousin was a very ambitious, hardworking and independent man. And this ambition led him to the USA back in 2005 via a student visa. He studied business and worked 1, 2, 3 jobs until he unfortunately had a truly life-changing encounter at the young age of 32. 6 months prior to graduating, he had a stroke and was hospitalized out there in America. Then, to make matters even worse, he got a sinus infection which led to him being comatized for 8 weeks.
2008, it happened to me, the stroke. And them carried me into the hospital, and by the next day I have something where them call my head swell big, you understand?
Whilst in the coma, the surgeons removed the infected skull. However, due to Rohan having no insurance, that's all they were willing to do, and completely missed out the part of the surgery that required a plate to be fitted in order to protect the portion of his brain that was and still is now exposed. When my cousin woke up, he couldn't walk, he couldn't talk, and had lost his memory. So from being a strong, healthy, independent man now to this was more than most of us could bear, I'm sure. However, this is where his inspirational personality and strong faith in the Almighty created his determination not to surrender and to make effort to get back on his feet again. And you know what? Within just 1 month, amazingly, he was walking very slowly again. Rohan at this point had regained some memory and speech with improved mobility. However, his condition is complicated by seizures, lasting sometimes up to 20 minutes at a time. He requires strong pharmaceutical drugs to help control this.
I say go in a wheelchair, and I say, I'm too young for this, you understand? And me get up, ease the wheelchair aside, me get up, hold on, and walk.
Rohan's mobility was improving through sheer determination to exercise until unfortunately he contracted chikungunya back in 2014, an epidemic in Jamaica around that time. And this has thrown him backwards because it has negatively affected his walking. Now he describes his limbs as stiffer, thus it's harder to walk again. Rohan presently has speech impairment, still has poor mobility and memory. He cannot work, he cannot drive, he is in pain all the time. Yet you never hear this man complain or ask for help, even in extreme times of hardship.
Since the stroke, Rohan has not obviously been able to work or do anything for himself in the retrospects of gaining a stable income. And in that retrospect, you find that you can't work, you find that in truth you're then left to depend on other people. And you find that the minute you start depending on other people, I'm not saying you won't get what you want, but I'm saying it's not going to be 100%, right? So I'm saying this affects Rohan in a very bad way because again, he's not able to partake in the world to his best of his potential. The 100, he's not able to fully be himself. So I see that as how it's really impacted him Or if we want to go specific, we could state that because he's not working, it's a serious impact on how frequent he eats, how much medication he has to take, where do he live, how his lifestyle is significantly depreciated or significantly changed, which is a much fairer word, right? So it's impacted him in numerous of ways, right? And all of them, what they all have in common, I would say, is the fact that they help him to be a little less more independent and a little more dependent.
I really feel that there's somebody out there who can see and know that he needs this help, and he needs somebody to be there.
So, upon reasoning with one of my friends, she informed me of the GoFundMe campaign. I looked into it and I decided to set up a GoFundMe page because we need help.
It has left Rohan feeling a bit alone, and you could understand why. I mean, we're talking about someone who grew up running around with people, someone who enjoyed driving from one end of Jamaica to the next, someone who smiles, laughs, you know, big warm-hearted person. And you find that he remembers and feels less than what he was, let's say, about 10 years ago, right? So you can imagine when someone like an old friend from Meadowbrook High School comes to visit and say, hey, Wally, what's up? Right? You'll find that it's not going to be the same connection. It's not going to be the same situation. So that left him feeling slightly less in that relation. And you find that on the next half, some people has just move on, right? Some people have their own problems, and not everyone is willing to weather yours with you. So you find that a lot of people has just left him by the side, while you have some true friends, of course, that stood with him through the storm, and they continue to stand with him up to today.
Rohan receives little support, even attention from most of the family, and so through desperation I realised we needed to reach out to the public because we can't do it alone, and time is of the essence. So I decided I need to alert people of his condition, his situation, and the importance of getting the right treatment for him.
Ever make a muckle, you understand? So everything you have, you can send it to GoFundMe.
The stage we are at right now is trying to source a top surgeon, wherever that surgeon may be. Due to Rohan's nature, he's concerned with how much this may cost. I have explained to him that because there's no more room for error, we need the very best surgeon or surgeons to work on your brain. They need to be highly competent. We need to contact them, ask them to reassess Rohan, and find out what the appropriate surgery and appropriate aftercare will be and how much it will all cost. So anyone who is able and willing to help with any aspect of this process, including donations obviously, no matter how small or big, we will be extremely grateful. And I want to make it known that we appreciate so far all the people who have donated already and shown concern and love. We feel truly blessed. So thank you all for your support in this movement.
The doctor said me can't drive. You understand? So me now go work, me now go drive, me now go do anything. You understand? But be patient and send with anything you have. You understand? Anything you have. GoFundMe. Run Road to Recovery.